Hi class, I'd like to read you another story today. This story is The Diggingest Dog. Let's see what this dog is going to dig up. Do you have a dog at your house that digs? I was the saddest dog you could ever see. Sad because no one wanted me. The pet shop window was my jail. The sign behind me said, "For sale." So he's for sale. I was tied to a bare, hard floor of stone. I couldn't even dig for a bone. I was living all of my life alone, a dog that no one wanted to own. And then one day at 4:30, Sammy Brown came to the door. Sam took one look at me and cried, "Why are you tied up here inside?" Where do you think this dog is? Yeah, he's probably at the shelter. I've always wanted a dog like you, so I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'll take you out to the farm with me. You'll play outdoors where you should be. I felt as happy as a pup when Sam paid the man and picked me up. He rubbed my ears, he scratched my head. "I think I'll call you Duke," he said. So he's going to adopt Duke. Sam gave me a collar and he gave me a lead. We left that pet shop at a tremendous speed. Ooh, I don't think Duke knows how to walk on a lead, does he? We went a long way out of town and we came to the farm of Sammy Brown. It was the nicest place I'd ever seen, a pretty white house in a field of green. And in the shade of the apple tree, a special doghouse was just for me. Next morning, while Sam did his chores, he let me run and play outdoors. I'd never played outdoors before. I'd always lived on that hard floor. I'd never run on nice soft ground. Now I barked with joy as I ran around. I think he's scaring the chickens, don't you? Sam looked at me and scratched his head. "Duke, you need some friends," he said. He blew his whistle and he blew a blast, and many dogs came running fast. I'd never met a dog before. Now I was meeting 6 or more. They walked around and looked at me, and they looked me over carefully. Then at last I heard them say, "He's one of us. He'll be okay." It's a lot of dogs. One dog who wasn't very big suddenly began to dig. The others started digging too, but that was something I couldn't do. I'd never learned to dig in that store. How could I on that hard stone floor? I tried to dig, but alas, I couldn't. I wiggled my paws just wouldn't. I fell on my ear, I fell on my face, I fell on myself, all over the place. He doesn't know how to dig, does he? The other said, "Duke may be big, but he's no good. He cannot dig." They stuck their noses in the air. They walked away. They left me there. Was that a nice way to treat their friends? "I'll teach you, Duke," cried Sammy Brown. "I'll show you how to dig deep down." He crouched beside me with his hand. He dug a hole in a pile of sand. I tried it too, but still I couldn't. I wiggled my paws just wouldn't. I'd never learned to dig in that store. How could I on that hard stone floor? So Sam's tried to teach him how to dig. You think you could teach a dog to dig? Sammy sighed. I almost cried. My eyes and nose were full of dirt. My paws and claws and elbows hurt. I had a pain across my back. I knew I'd never get the knack. So now Duke and Sammy are both sad, aren't they? Sam felt sad and I felt bad. If only I could make him glad. We both knew I'd never get it right. Sam and I couldn't sleep that night. So when the sun rose in the sky, I thought I'd give it one more try. I wiggled one paw, I saw it could. I wiggled the other, and I saw that it would. I would dig with my paws, I would dig with my claws. I felt no pain across my back. I knew at last I had the knack. So he finally learned how to dig. Sammy Brown looked out at me. He saw me digging happily. "Good for you, Duke," Sammy cried. "I knew you could do it if you tried." So I dug farther, I dug faster, I dug and dug to please my master. I dug up grass, I dug up weeds, I dug up daisies, I dug up seeds, I dug up the fence, I dug up the gate, I dug up the garden of Mrs. Thwaites. Uh-oh. I think he's getting a little carried away, don't you? Let's see what else he's going to dig. I dug up the rooster, I dug up the hens, I dug up the sheep and pigs in their pens. Uh-oh. See what else he digs. I dug and dug, I couldn't stop. I dug up the barber in his shop. I dug up Mr. Rodney Thayer sitting in the barber's chair. I dug my way right through the town. I dug a lot of buildings down. I was having so much fun. I dug up Highway 81. I came to a hill. I dug to the top, but all of a sudden I had to stop. Right in front of me, looking down, there stood my master, Sammy Brown. Uh-oh, what does Sammy have in his hand? You see the leash and the collar? Where do you think he's going to go? He's going to take him home or back to the pound? Sam didn't smile or pat my head. He only glared at me and said, "I'm sending you back to that animal store. They'll tie you to that hard stone floor and you'll never, never dig out anymore." I couldn't run. I couldn't hide. Dogs came at me from every side, and then suddenly I knew there was just one thing for me to do. I ran away from Sammy Brown. I dug a hole that went straight down. I left him standing on top. I dug and dug, and I didn't stop. Now, where do you think he's going to dig out? Where do you think he's going to dig to? How deep I dug, I couldn't tell, but soon I found I dug a well. Mud and water up to my chin. What a fix I now was in. I started to sink. I started to yelp, "Help, help!" I yelped, "Help, help, help!" I could hear them way above my head. I could hear every word they said. One dog growled, "He wrecked our town. This serves him right. Just let him drown." But Sam cried, "Duke, you've been bad, but you've made me sad instead of glad. But we're not going to let you die. We'll get you out. At least we'll try." How do you think they're going to get Duke out of that hole? Then at last I heard him shout, "Maybe we can pull you out." Look at the dogs. See what the dogs are all doing? See how they're clinging onto each other's tails? You think they're going to try to pull him out that way? Well, let's see. Slowly, slowly, down they came, each dog part of a long dog chain. I reached up, I touched a nose, I felt them lift me by my toes. Slowly, slowly, bit by bit, they dragged me up out of that pit. I thanked the dogs and Sammy Brown, and then I started back toward town. I knew I had to dig once more to fix things up as they were before. Now he's going to go back and fix everything that he messed up. Do you think he's going to dig holes like that again? I don't either. That's what I did. I dug back gates. I dug back the garden of Mrs. Thwaites. I dug back the roosters and the hens. I dug back all the pigs in their pens. I dug up all the day in the summer sun. I dug Highway 81. I dug back everything in town, everything that I'd knocked down. Today, when I dig, well, I'm careful now. I'm useful too. Sam lets me plow. He'll never send me to that store or tie me up on a hard stone floor. My dog friends watch and wonder why they can't dig as well as I. So he's happy now, isn't he? And that was the end, The Diggingest Dog. I hope you enjoyed it.